Om Sthapakayo च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारो वरिष्ठाय Ramakrishnayo te Namah. I thank Swami Ekathananda, the spiritual head of our Ramakrishna Ashrama, Nepal, in Kathmandu, for inviting me to take part in the program to release the Nepali translation of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, originally Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita of Sri Mahendranath Gupta, also known as Sri M. On this historic day, the 128th anniversary of the appearance of Swami Vivekananda in the World's Parliament of Religions, held at Chicago in 1893, I am glad that Dr. Jagman Gurung, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Nepal Academy, and Sri Nikhil Upreti, famous superstar of Nepali films, are also present in today's function. In the history of religions, we find that the name of almost every divine incarnation is associated with a chronicler who recorded his life and teachings in a comprehensive way. Similarly, in the divine play of Sri Ramakrishna, the incarnation of the present age, we find Sri Mahendranath Gupta, who adopted the pen name M, playing the role of the chronicler. Once, Mahapurush Maharaj, Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj, a monastic disciple of Sri Ramakrishna and the second president of Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission, started making notes of the words of Sri Ramakrishna. But Sri Ramakrishna forbade him to do so, perhaps because that job of recording his words was earmarked for him. The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, a priceless mine of the sayings of Sri Ramakrishna, in fact originated from M's habit from his youth of keeping a personal diary. He was born to write and spread the message of Sri Ramakrishna. It's interesting to note that M passed away when the last portion of the last volume of the 5-volume work was in the press. M knew only Sri Ramakrishna and nothing else. Ramakrishna was the be-all and end-all of his life. Whatever came out of his lips or pen was about Sri Ramakrishna. Perhaps in the history of religious teachers, it is the first time that the spiritual teachings of a great master have been recorded with such a stenographic precision and truthfulness as in Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. The conversations bring before the reader's mind an intimate picture of Sri Ramakrishna's divine life from March 1882 to April 1886. With vivid descriptions of the settings for the meetings, details of moods and nature of the people present, charming portrayal of songs and dances, graphic utterances of Sri Ramakrishna in his native simplicity and homespun beauty have been brought out by him in an exquisite way in the book. Therefore, the Holy Book is a beacon light to all who tread the spiritual path to whichever race or religion he may belong to. Delighted after reading an early edition of Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita in the form of a pamphlet, Swami Vivekananda wrote a letter to him from Dehradun on 24th November 1897, commending his work. I quote, "You have hit Ramakrishna in the right point. Few, alas, few understand him. Many, many thanks for your second leaflet. It's indeed wonderful. The move is quite original, and never was the life of a great teacher brought before the public untarnished by the writer's mind as you were doing. The language also is beyond all praise, so fresh, so pointed, and withal so plain and easy. I cannot express in adequate terms how I have enjoyed them. I am really in a transport when I read them. Strange, isn't it? Our teacher and Lord was so original, and each one of us will have to be original or nothing. I now understand why none of us attempted his life before. It has been reserved for you, this great work. He is with you evidently. Socratic dialogues are Plato all over. You are entirely hidden. Moreover, the dramatic part is infinitely beautiful. Everybody likes it here or in the West. Unquote. After the release of the first edition of Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, Swami Ramakrishna, a monastic disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, rightly said to him, quote, "You have left whole humanity in debt by publishing these invaluable pages fraught with the best of wisdom of the greatest avatar of God." Unquote. It's a matter of great joy that today the Nepali translation of the book, The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, is being published. It's no doubt a momentous occasion. Swami Ekathananda certainly deserves an appreciation for this commendable endeavor. I heartily compliment all who have taken painstaking effort in the noble venture of translating the text and publishing the book. May they all be joyful recipients of Sri Ramakrishna's grace amount. Tavo kathamritam tapta jivanam koviviritam kalmasapaham Shravanamangalam srimadatatang bhuvigrinanti buddhida janaha. The nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations, transmitted by learned sages, eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly, those who spread the message of Godhead are most munificent. Thank you so very much.